Yerp, it's Perp back with another video, and finally we have gotten the final episode to this mini series called Candy on Hulu. I don't want to waste any time. Let's get right into the episode. So, yeah, it starts off with the deputy and an officer kind of kind of giving their assumption of what happened with the fight or the struggle or what happened between Candy and Betty. And you really see how dumb the deputy is in this episode, man. Oh my God. It's just, and they always had this worry that they were going to pretty much um settle for like self-defense. They were going to use that case, and boy was it interesting watching that court case. We're going to get into that. But what was really weird to me that just felt completely random out of everything that we saw in this episode was this scene where we get that red, lighting again, and it looks like Candy is seeing a therapist. It was just really weird, and just it made it feel like it was like a dream. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was a dream or if it was real. I don't know. It was just set. It really seemed out of place out of everything that I saw in this episode. Other than that, we get to, the actual court date. We see like the press, the attorney, what's his name? Don Crowder. He's got like this press all around him just to get kind of things buzzing. But it was it didn't really sit well with the judge, and the judge kept, already egging him on. And I've seen this happen in court, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of starting off shaky. It wasn't looking like it was in Candy's favor, but as the court case goes along, you start to see like, damn, this is like a one-sided kind of win for one person, because when Alan takes the stand, and it's interesting that we find out that he's clapping the sister's cheeks. I'm pretty sure that's Betty's sister. He pretty much defends Candy, like saying like, I don't think she would ever do this. We're still friends, which he could have really turned the tides in this whole entire case, but he decided to just be honest and just say how he feels, and it was pretty much a good look for Candy. And now when we get the deputy on the stand, this is where everything kind of falls apart, for them, and it's looking good for Candy, where things don't really add up. You really start to see how moronic the deputy is, and just how and just how people are looking at Candy now that used to be really close to her, especially her like best friend Shirley. She's just in shock and in disgust. And the judge is continuously hounding down on Crowder and stuff, and he kind of makes it be known, you're being really biased. Like, have a fair trial. My client is facing life. You need to take this serious. That was pretty interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen like attorneys like that go off on the judge and just it'd be cool, but the judge kept giving him contempt in court and stuff like that, but he didn't really care. He wanted a fair trial. So I respect the lawyer for that as well. So some interesting information or backstory comes out about Candy and her past with her mother, and what might have triggered her to kill Betty or to hit her with an axe, because their whole defense, right, is Betty had the axe first. And I don't know, because she's never told Pat this, so who's to say that she didn't make this up? But now we get to what everybody's been waiting for to see to this moment, is the actual fight, what happened, what went down. And it seemed very peaceful. Like, Candy made it seem like she came there in peace. But then on the flip side, Betty already kind of assumed that Candy was doing something with her husband, which I don't know if she fully knew that. You know what I'm saying? I think the interesting thing about this, like, you really only have one side to the story. and she pretty much is breaking down what happened. And once she shushed her, I'm talking about Betty, that kind of triggered her to kind of just go off on her and just kill her. And man, Jessica Biel in this moment, like, this was just a standing ovation, really dope performance. I think she killed it as Candy, made it really believable as her character. But also you see Betty's ghost kind of saying like, that's your story, which is true because she is not here to defend herself. So where this goes next is really fascinating. So as Candy's on the stand, she gets pressed again, saying, this Alan wasn't your only affair that you had. And this pisses off Pat because she won't reveal exactly who it was, but she did have another affair after she did start messing around with somebody after Alan. And this was like past breaking point. You know, he was just like, one was cool, but this was just way too much for Pat, and also too much for Shirley. I think that's what her name is, or Sherry. She's kind of fed up as well. So once they kind of give their last back and forths to the jury, we finally get a sentence and a plea of just not guilty. She pretty much beats the case. You know what I'm saying? And just everybody's just in shock. It's just they can't believe what they just witnessed. You see, it's kind of heartbreaking too, seeing Betty's parents kind of crying. You know what I'm saying? But then they kind of do the whole montage of like explain to you where everybody's at. You know, Alan is still married to what's her face's sister, and Pat and Candy end up getting a divorce like 4 years later. She ends up becoming a counselor for mental health and stuff like that, and changes her name. Fascinating story, man. I want to kind of check out some more, like, if there's any documentaries out there, I want to definitely give it a look and see how it compares to the series. And I like the callbacks to, you know, when they're in the court, they were trying to link this to like The Shining, or there's callbacks to Friday the 13th because this happened on Friday the 13th and it took like 13 days to, you know what I'm saying? A lot of esoteric stuff going on there. But do you think that this finale or this conclusion was worth the time? Do you feel like they could have extended this series like a couple more episodes? Were you satisfied? How do y'all feel about Candy? Do you think she was telling the truth? Let me know your thoughts of this overall series and what you thought about the finale. Till next time, I'm out.